Code Defenders is a game with two purposes: to produce good software tests and to improve testing education. Attackers write mutants by modifying the original source code to change its meaning. Defenders create tests which succeed on the original code but fail for mutants in order to kill them. Attackers gain points for hard to find mutants and defenders score for good tests. For my project, I created a single-player mode for the game. This involved creating a system to automatically generate and select both tests and mutants. First, a user must upload source code as a Java class. If this box is checked, the system generates mutants and tests. The tests and mutants are generated by Evo Suite and Major, respectively. Every test must be run on every mutant to determine their potential qualities. The player creates a mutant, and the system attempts to find an unused test which covers it. If no test which covers the changed code exists, then an unused test which is deemed to be of a high quality is chosen. Here, the selected test killed the mutant, as it passed on the original code but failed on the mutant. The player can see lines that are covered by tests in green. Repeated coverage is shown by a darker green. This process of creating mutants and the system selecting tests is repeated until the game ends. For demonstration purposes, Easy Mode allows the player to view the differences of a mutant. The system selects an unused mutant, biased towards those which are killed by fewer generated tests, as they should be harder to detect. This mutant is selected at the start of the game, and the player will try to kill it with a test. Here, the test successfully killed the mutant. This process of selecting mutants and the player writing tests continues until the end of the game. Mutants can be identical in function to the original code and must be considered accordingly. These are called equivalent mutants. This particular mutant is equivalent, as by changing the comparison from not equal to equals 0 and inverting the returns, the same outputs are given. The system treats a player's mutant as equivalent if no generated test can kill it. The player can accept a mutant as equivalent, losing points. Alternatively, the player can prove a mutant is not equivalent in order to gain bonus points. Whilst the system may incorrectly flag non-equivalents as being equivalent, the player can prove that it is not equivalent, and therefore practice their testing capabilities. The automated attacker will occasionally select potentially equivalent mutants, so that the player can practice checking for them.